Hello, this is Brenda Underwood coming to you live. How you doing tonight on this Thursday night? In my personal Facebook group, I deemed today Taco Thursday. And so we are moving Taco Tuesday all the way through to Taco Thursday. So get you some tacos today for dinner. This is Brenda Underwood, the Breakthrough Strategist, and I'm coming to you live tonight to talk about a very prevalent myth about entrepreneurship. Oftentimes, we think that entrepreneurship is about one person doing all these different things, running around like they're like a chicken with their head cut off, trying to be the marketing person, be the accounting person, be this person, that person, and then do what you got into the business to do, which is the thing you love to do. And that could be anything that you have been gifted to do. And I want to debunk that myth. I'm real big at looking at what the norms are and then debunking the mistruths so that we can make informed decisions about how to move forward next. So if you're joining me, please say hello. Let me know you're here. If you join me on the replay, please hit please type in replay so that I know that you came and you joined, and let me know what you think. Let's have a conversation. I will be putting comments up as they come through on the screen, but this is going to be a quick one because I have an 8 o'clock appointment tonight. And I want to just share with you guys the secret sauce to entrepreneurial success. And it starts with the right team. When you think about going into business for yourself, I want you to begin to think, hey, Kristen, I'm so glad that you are here joining us. Love you, love you, love you. Oh, Sterling, hadn't seen you in forever. I can't wait to get some of your wife's good cakes. I heard she can bake pretty good. So thank you for joining me. But as we look at this journey of entrepreneurship, what we don't want to do is go into entrepreneurship believing that we have to do it all. A good entrepreneur that knows what it takes to grow a business knows that they need the right team in place. So we're going to talk about that just a little bit. We're also going to talk about the power of SOPs. If you're in the military, ever been in the military, then you know about SOPs. I'm a military brat. My dad spent 23 years in the Air Force, so we traveled, and I grew up at Castle Air Force Base in California. And one of the things that is very important to scaling a business to profit levels is going to require you to have standard operating procedures for the things that you do. And then last but not least, you want to put in systems that allow you to be scalable in your business. So we're going to talk about those three things briefly, and you can learn more about the myths and debunking those myths on my website at breakthroughforlife.com. I have a blog out that talks about the 5 myths about entrepreneurship, and it debunks those 5 myths so that you can make an informed decision on how you want to move forward into your future. If you are still currently working your job, I'm going to tell you right now, don't just quit. You need to work your intangibles while you have a job before you transition out of the job. And this is one of those intangibles. Is you thinking about what is it going to take? Who are the people I need to surround myself with as a team? I don't care if you're doing a bakery. I don't care if you're selling CMOS. I don't care if you're a fitness coach. Whatever you do, the first thing you want to stop and think about, who do I already know that's really good in the areas where I'm going to need help? And when I talk about building the right team isn't always employees. Sometimes the right team are vendors, people you hire to help you on a specific project or in a specific area. When I looked at going into entrepreneurship now 8 years ago, the first thing I thought was, who are the best web designers I know? Who are the best marketing people I know? Who are the best accounting people I know? Now, I do my own accounting because I got my first set of student loans in accounting. So I do my own numbers. But the first 2 people I hired was, one, a marketing coordinator. People say, Brenda, you're on social media all the time. Not as much as you think. A lot of my content, me and my marketing coordinator, we strategize on how to be prevalent and add value to the social media audience that I'm trying to serve. And I don't do it alone. The second person I hired was someone to do my website. Her name was Phyllis Breach, and she did a phenomenal job on my logo. I always, every time I look at that logo, I think of her, but I could not have designed my own logo as well as this professional designed my logo. And then the third person I hired was someone to do my back end maintenance on my website. There's a lot of stuff involved. And can I do it? Can I DIY the process? Absolutely. But DIY, do it yourself, is often the most expensive way to build your business. And we are always, when we're launching into business, we're most concerned about our financials. But when you think about it from this viewpoint, when you pay an expert, like the guy who does my back end on my website and who will be designing my next website is a gentleman named Josh Merriam. This boy is bad to the bone. When I tell you he bad, he bad. Don't call him, don't reach out to him because he's maxed out. He can't take on any new clients, but he is bad to the bone. He is good at web development. He's good at SEO, and he's good at web design. And he has spent years, Phyllis has spent years, my marketing coordinator has spent years learning about their crafts. And so when I pay for their expertise, I am buying myself time. And so I delegate duties to experts in the field because it buys me time to do what only I can do. And that is the number one difference between an entrepreneur and a solopreneur. A solopreneur is trying to do everything all by themselves. They want to DIY the entire process. They don't want to spend any money on anything. They think that they're saving money by studying it and doing it themselves. They really are not. They're wasting time because if they did what only they could do, they would probably propel their business by 60%. So my big thing to entrepreneurs that are thinking about that entrepreneurial journey is for you to identify in the people you already know who are experts in the field, who could either teach you, show you, or do it for you. And those are often vendors as we are launching out into the entrepreneurial journey. Now, I do have staff members now because I'm 8 years into this journey. And so I've earned enough money to start to pay people W-2 on staff. However, you want to think about this before you launch out. You want to think about who's in your circle, what areas are you going to hire people, what areas are you going to hire vendors, and what areas are you going to do yourself. You want to plan and be strategic before you quit your job. The next step is if you're in that solopreneur stage, and I was in there for about a year. I mean, I did my own marketing for about a year, and I said, this is for the birds. I got to hire somebody. But and I'm still heavily involved in my marketing. But in that process, when I was the solopreneur, I made sure to be meticulous about the processes that handled the back end. How do I handle my clients' encouragement, support, and accountability? What are the systems that I need to have in place? So I had a standard operating procedure in order for me to secret sauce my business. And in that standing operating procedure, now I don't have to reinvent the wheel every time I get ready to go do something. I can also take that standing operating procedure and give it to an admin assistant when I hired my admin assistant. I can also take that standard operating procedure and give it to my accountant if I ever hired one, or give it to whoever I hire. It helps with that training process. And let me tell you, when you think about hiring staff, you want to make sure you know those who labor among you. I vet every single person I spend money with. Every single person I recommend, I vet them. I look into their reviews. I don't just take it, oh, you're my sister, so I know you can do accounting well, so I'm just going to hire you and we're not going to have a contract. Don't do that. Do not do that. If it's business, treat it like business. This ain't your homegirl. This ain't your boy. This is business. Treat it like a business from day one. Contracts, they help you decide, how am I going to interact with this individual? in a business setting. My son is my business partner, and my son handles certain things within my organization. And guess what? We've got a contract. We have an agreement. He knows how much profits he's going to get. He knows when he's going to get what is expected of him, when I expect things to be done, and when he's going to get paid. It's contractual because it's business, baby. Don't treat it like a hobby. Otherwise, it's going to churn out money like a hobby. Treat it like a real business. So you want to have standard operating procedures so that when you hire people, you can train them well. Because when you delegate, you don't want to abdicate authority. You want to train your staff well so they can represent you well. Clear expectations and make sure that they have the qualifications to do the job. The third thing that you want to do when you're thinking about becoming an entrepreneur is you want to have scalable systems that can be repeated easily. You see this in all of the big franchisee chains. When you go to Chick-fil-A, you know what's going to happen when you hit their drive-thru. They are bad to the bone when it comes to processing a bunch of people through a drive-thru in a short period of time. Because of systems, they have those systems in place so that they can scale their business and duplicate their profit results and their consumer experience. You can always tell when a company doesn't have strong systems because you walk into it and everything is haphazard. You don't want to always be recreating the wheel. You want to have systems in place that not only buys you time, but simplifies your process and creates a level of efficiency that only a system can bring about. Let me give you an example. When I started my business, I worked 3 years on my corporate job doing all the intangibles of my business first before I resigned in 2016 and went full-time into my business. So I literally switched my paycheck, where I got paid from my W-2 job, it switched over to my business and I got a paycheck from my business. That's number one. But the number two thing about it is when I decided to leave, I was already making money in my business. I already had systems in place and I had already hired my first person. And in that, I created systems that were duplicatable. So when I first started, I used to have to talk to everybody about, when do you want your appointment? Oh, you got to reschedule your appointment. Oh, you want to do this. Oh, you want to do that. Thank you, Veronica. I love your comment. And everything, you have to have a system. Absolutely right, Veronica. Thank you so much for sharing that comment. And so I used to call, everybody used to call me to set their appointments, call me to reschedule their appointments. And that took a lot of time. When I implemented a scheduling system, and I swear by Acuity, their back-end audit system is phenomenal. When I implemented Acuity, it literally saved me 7 hours a week from scheduling appointments, rescheduling appointments, because I see about 15 to 30 clients a week. And so I didn't have to have those conversations. I didn't have to listen to why they needed to reschedule. You're a grown adult. You are a leader. So if you need to reschedule, you don't have to tell me why. Just go in, click reschedule, and reschedule your appointment. That system bought me back time. So when you're looking at your processes and when you start to write your processes down, then you can stop and look and say, how can I get a system that will make this process more efficient? So I hope that this tidbit of information, these little gold nuggets that I dropped on you today, can help you while you're thinking about launching your business. And if you're in your business, it can help you become more efficient in your processes, in your systems, so that you're no longer a solopreneur, but you're an entrepreneur. And an entrepreneur knows that the secret sauce to success is delegation. So learn how to delegate well, delegate often, and delegate to the right team. This is Brenda Underwood, your Breakthrough Strategist, here to help you break through to the next level of living. I want to help you break through whatever barriers are holding you back. I want to help you break through in your career, and I want to help you break through in your financial quality of life. So if you ever need help in any of those areas, feel free to contact me at 855-923-LIFE. That's right at the bottom. Or you can go to my website, breakthroughforlife.com, and you can schedule a discovery call right there on my website. Check your schedule against my schedule and let's chat. This is Brenda Underwood, wishing you all the best. Peace and love. Bye-bye.